Right, again, this is Brother Will, aka Quiet Storm, and we're now at week 50 of our 52-week challenge. Only 2 more weeks to go, and this year will be over. I can't believe it myself. It's just been going by so fast. So I just, thank God for the grace that He's given me to make it this far into the challenge. So I'm thankful for that. The topic that I'm going to talk about tonight is God's reflection, and the aspect that I'm going to come on is based on relationships and how we relate and deal with other people. Now, God has really been teaching me a lot of things through using like my wife and my daughters, friends, family, just different people that I'm in a relationship with to show me a parallel of the relationship I had with Him. Just our relationship. So what I'm going to do today is just kind of touch on two main points that I want to make in the video, and then I'll just briefly tell you what the points are, give a quick reference or example. The first one is that we need to be a reflection of God in our relationship with others. And then the sub point will be actually seeing people the way that God sees them, and then reflecting God in our interactions with them. All right? And that's basically stuff like, regardless of their faults or shortcoming, we still see them as valuable. We still see their worth. We still look at them like God will look at them, through the eyes of love, regardless of, it's like unconditional love. All right. So the first part is when we're looking at God. Let's see. Yeah, being a reflection of God in our relationships. Like I mentioned earlier, He's just teaching me so much, especially through my wife and my daughters, but more so through my daughters. He's showing me like that fatherly, the aspect, or He's reflecting Himself off of me the way that I deal with them. Because like me, whenever I mess up or do something wrong, I'm quick to I want grace. I want mercy. I want God to be lenient on me. I don't want Him to whip me. And I look at my daughters and see they may do something wrong, but it's just something in me that's like every time they do something wrong, sometimes I just kind of let it go. I see it, I let it go. Sometimes I'm like, okay, hey, you need to stop, and I have to tell them time and time again before I give them a whipping or whatever. That's like extending the grace and the mercy upon them, because they deserve to be, chastised or disciplined. But as a father, sometimes I'm just like, you know what? I'm just going to talk to you. You're wrong, but hey, you don't want to keep doing this because there's going to be some consequences and repercussions. And doing that, I'm just reflecting God's character upon them. He's using that example to show me that that's how He deals with me sometimes, because there's times to where He's telling me the same thing, more than once. I hear it, and I just sort of like, hey, I don't know if I want to do that right now. I'm over here, I'm doing something else. And that's sort of like the attitude, like my girls are giving me sometimes, like, well, Dad, I'm doing something else right now. I heard you, but I'm not, in a sense, going to acknowledge you. And God is so loving and so merciful that even though it may disappoint Him or hurt His feelings, He doesn't come at us with wrath or anger. He still reflects love. And that's one way of God's reflection there. Another one, like I made mention of, when you're dealing with just the way that God sees other people around you. People may offend you or do you wrong, and when that happens, you take the stance like, hey, you know what? I'm not doing anything else for them. I'm just straight cutting them off. I don't care if they walk out of my life or whatever. But see, God doesn't look at it like that. God, the word tells us that, love keeps no record of wrongdoing. And, Jesus talks about forgiveness. Like, how many times, should you forgive a brother? Like, and I think it was Peter, well, the disciple asked him, well, how many times? 7, Lord? Well, no, he was like, well, 70 times 7. Just basically making the point that you can constantly forgive like God constantly forgives us. So we need to reflect that same type of attitude on others. And we know that we're in this flesh, and we have thoughts and things like that, but that's why it's good to be spirit-led, so we can reflect God in the way that we forgive and that we relate to others. So just a real quick video tonight. I just wanted to kind of touch on those things, just kind of talking from my heart tonight. God had really been dealing with me on that topic. He's been giving it to me for a while, and I'll probably get a little deeper into it maybe next year, because I think this is more so like a series type thing. I want to really get a lot deeper in it, in God's reflection and reflecting Him in our relationships and how we deal with others. Alright, so again, this is Brother Will, aka Quiet Storm. This is week 50. 2 more weeks to go on the 52-week challenge. Tonight we talked about God's reflection and you being a reflection of God when you deal with while you're in all the other relationships, and paralleling it with the way that He sees you and values you. Alright, so like I said, we'll be back next week for week 51. God bless. See you next week.